On Wednesday, federal law enforcement officials had raided the home of former Trump Department of Justice official Jeffrey Clark. So now Clark, who is now an environmental lawyer. Now, okay, before you say, wait, environmental lawyer, what are you talking about? He works at the Center for Renewing America, which is a conservative advocacy group. So, take that for what it is. Now, while he was at the Department of Justice, however, he had pushed to have that department declare that the results of the 2020 election were illegitimate. So he was on Trump's side in pushing the big lie. That is, of course, despite zero evidence. Now, ABC News reports that federal agents had conducted a search of Clark's home in Virginia on Wednesday morning. And again, that is absolutely 100% related to Donald Trump's attempts to get the Department of Justice to back his coup attempt. Clark had actually volunteered himself and the Justice Department as advocates for Trump's claim of mass voter fraud during the 2020 presidential election. CNN reports that Clark planned to reverse the department's investigative conclusions regarding election fraud. Remember, the Department of Justice under William Barr basically concluded, after an investigation, that there was no mass voter fraud. They said, golly gee, we looked into it. We really wanted to find something, but we didn't find anything. It wasn't there. And by the way, this adds on to the testimony from different state officials who had asked Giuliani, for example, Rusty Bowers, asked Giuliani, hey, okay, you say you have the evidence of mass voter fraud. I really want to see the evidence. Please, send me the evidence. You say you have it. I want to see it. I want to see it. And what happened? Well, they didn't send it because they didn't have it. In fact, later on, Giuliani admitted, I actually don't have any evidence, but I have a lot of theories. Oh, you have theories. You have theories. And yet, this is enough for Clark and the Justice Department to say, put me as head of the Justice Department, replace me, Rosen with me, and then I will do your bidding. Give me a position of power, and I will do whatever the hell you want. Because, of course, just another way for someone to get ahead. Now, Clark, again, according to committee aides, wanted to send out letters to states suggesting that there had been voter fraud, again, with no evidence. While serving as the acting head of civil cases at the Justice Department at the end of the Trump presidency, Clark had floated plans to give Georgia's legislature and other states backing to undermine the popular vote results. He gave credence to unfounded conspiracy theories of voter fraud, according to documents from the Justice Department, and communicated with Trump about becoming the Attorney General, a Senate investigation found this month. That led to a confrontation at the White House on January 3rd, 2021. That is, again, 3 days before the Capitol riot. So now this is when senior Justice Department officials told Trump that they would resign. And many other senior officials would also quit if the president replaced acting Attorney General Jeffrey Rosen with Clark. Now, what we find out is that Trump was initially interested in the plan. However, the threats of mass resignation were able to stop him, to stop him from firing his acting Attorney General and replacing him with Clark. So now Clark's bosses, acting Attorney General Rosen and acting Deputy Attorney General Richard Donahue, were testifying today. They had warned that evidence to overturn the election was not there and had rejected his letter days earlier. So again, Clark knew that there was not evidence to support him or Trump. He did not care. He wanted to decertify, send the results back to the states, and allow, and this is where, of course, the whole plan comes into play, the Green Bay sweep, to allow the fake electors that are not real, illegal, to go and take their place and to vote for Donald Trump. So now former acting Deputy Attorney General Richard Donahue said in video testimony that was played on Thursday he recalled what he told Trump during the Oval Office meeting. Donahue said that he told Clark, quote, and I love this, these are great quotes, "You're an environmental lawyer. How about you go back to your office and we'll call you when there's an oil spill." Oh, the condescension is so good. It's so good. Hey, oil boy. We'll call you when, somebody spills something, okay? Let the adults in the room talk, okay? Now, Trump White House lawyer Eric Hirschman said Clark was repeatedly, quote, clobbered over the head during the meeting. He said that he explicitly told Clark that he was breaking the law, and that, of course, is very important, because in order to get your house raided by the FBI, they have to have probable cause. They have to have enough evidence that you might have something criminal in your home to justify getting that search warrant. And so, yes, that would be a very, very important piece of evidence right there. Right there, saying that, he absolutely knew that what he was doing was illegal. And so they're very likely trying to gather any sort of a paper trail that he might have made, whether it be, emails, documentation, that shows that he absolutely knew that it was illegal and was going forward with the plan anyway, or trying to. Now, this is, again, according to Hirschman's videotaped deposition with the committee. By the way, this is another great quote. This is from Hirschman saying, quote, "Fucking a-hole, congratulations, you just admitted your first step or act you would take as Attorney General would be committing a felony." The best people, the greatest people, the smartest people. Again, I don't have the videotapes because this had just come out from the January 6th committee that is currently, as I'm recording right now, the hearing is ongoing. So now, there's more. Hirschman later testified that he thought Clark's plan was nuts and told the panel that he told Clark, "The best I can tell is the only thing you know about environmental and election challenges is that they both start with E. And based on your answers tonight, I'm not even certain you know that." Holy damn. I love these quotes. This is Republican and Republican crime right here, and I'm for it. According to Donahue, then White House counsel Pat Scipione also said during the meeting that Clark's plan to send letters to battleground states encouraging them to interfere with the election results was a quote-unquote murder-suicide pact. That is another thing that I'm pretty sure the feds and the January 6th committee, the Justice Department, would be very interested to get their hands on any of that documentation. And during the Oval Office meeting, these officials continued to pummel Clark's ideas, even as he kept trying to explain that if Trump that he would uncover widespread fraud if he was put in charge of the Justice Department. These officials, however, successfully persuaded Trump to back away from the plan to fire then Attorney General Jeffrey Rosen and promote Clark. You know why? Because this is probably such a thorough and public dressing down of somebody that even Donald Trump was like, "What a loser, sad, pathetic, dumb. You look like a real dumbass, very weak and very sad." Again, strength is kind of what matters because he's not a very smart guy. And so right there, that show of strength and basically illustrating how dumb of a person Clark is and how easily he could get pushed around and clobbered in front of Trump, that was enough. Right there, and understand that they are also speaking Trump's language. I mean, effing a-hole, you just committed, you just admitted that you were going to commit a felony. Dumbass, idiot, moron, sad baby. Apparently that's how you get through to Trump. Who knew? Who knew? Except we all knew. So now, look, there's another person, by the way, who's important in this, right? And that's somebody who also worked at the Justice Department. Now, that's what the committee hearings today are really all about. The pressure campaign that Trump had put on the Justice Department as a whole. Again, that he had put pressure on William Barr to investigate the allegations of voter fraud. Again, Barr also testified, I believe, to the fact that he said, look, if I didn't do it, if I didn't do this investigation, I'm afraid that there wouldn't have been any transfer of power. And that's also a very, very important quotation, right? That Barr had put out. I mean, he was that concerned that Donald Trump would just try to take over. Isn't it amazing? But going to that other person here, that's Stephen Engel, the former Assistant Attorney General for the Office of Legal Counsel. So now he's going to testify that about this pressure campaign that the top Justice Department officials were under from Trump in the final days leading up to January 6th. Engel was one of the top Justice Department officials who actually refused to use the department to push that big lie. So this guy, let me point out who he is, because this is important. This is very illustrative of what's going on here. A lot of the people, a lot of the witnesses that have come out against this plan, they're not libs. These are not like Democrats. They're not rhinos. These are very conservative people. Again, Rusty Bowers is a great example. Rusty Bowers says, yeah, what Trump asked me to do was illegal. But by the way, I'm such a good conservative, I will vote for Trump in 2024. So understand who these people are, right? Engel, for example, once wrote an opinion backing the Justice Department's decision not to release Trump's tax returns. William Barr, as I had pointed out before, also wrote a lot of opinions protecting Donald Trump from the Mueller investigation. And by the way, getting back to Engel, he also later argued that White House advisors had absolute immunity from being subpoenaed to testify in the impeachment against Donald Trump. So understand that he defended the administration, he defended Trump, worked for Trump, was a massive right-winger, but it got to a point where these things they were being asked to do, and Trump has a history of doing this, asking for illegal things, they didn't want to touch it. I think that's really important. It kind of does show you how this particular issue should not be partisan. Unfortunately, it's being reported as partisan. Where really, it is a truly bipartisan group that is looking at this and having people that worked in the administration that are deeply conservative, that are testifying, yes, what Donald Trump did was try to use a lie, something that was not backed up by facts or evidence, in order to try to prevent a peaceful transfer of power. Again, that is very important. This is an issue not between Democrats and Republicans. This is an issue of whether or not you support democracy, even when it doesn't go your way, or are you going to embrace fascism? Now, for Engel and Barr, as much as we disagree on policy, not fascist. But you look at the people that were backing Donald Trump and willing to lie for them, knowing that it was false and trying to push fake electors anyway, those are the fascists. Know who they are. Know the enemy.